Hey YouTube, my name is Will, and this is Keys of Faith. Today I just want to dive into the importance of answering God's call and a few of the challenges that can come with it. So today I want to talk about the word and how it reveals things about fear that accompanies answering the call and addressing a few challenges and repercussions of mishandling a calling. In the book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 1 through 5, the Bible jumps into the conversation that God was having with Moses, explaining to him that he will work through him to set free God's people. The chapter starts with Moses being worried about the people that will doubt and how they will think that the Lord never spoke to him. It reads, "Then Moses answered, but behold, they will not believe me or listen to my voice, for they will say, the Lord did not appear to you." The Lord said to him, "What is that in your hand?" He said, "A staff." And he said, "Throw it on the ground." So he threw it on the ground, and it became a serpent. And Moses ran from it. But the Lord said to Moses, "Put out your hand and catch it by the tail." So he put out his hand and caught it, and it became a staff in his hand, that they may believe that the Lord, the God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has appeared to you. A lot of the times when it comes to stepping out on faith to do something for the Lord, I find in many circumstances our minds can tend to jump to a few of these thoughts. What do I have? What if I fail? What will people think of me? And is anyone really going to listen to me? The word shows where these thoughts come from. The word states that his thoughts are not our thoughts, and our ways are not his ways. Many times when the calling comes, it can feel contrary to a person's nature, their circumstances, or what they believe the value is of what they already possess. Here are a few instances in the word. Contrary to his nature, Moses with his staff and his speech impediment never would have imagined that through him, God would perform miracles and lead God's nation to the promised land. Or the widow with a little flour and a little oil had already been instructed by the Lord to make bread for Elijah before his arrival. But when he arrived and asked for water and bread, she said she was already busy gathering sticks to make a meal for her and her son to die. She only saw her current circumstances and was blind to the value of what she possessed and the blessings that will come with her obeying the Lord, allowing her to not only feed Elijah, but to also feed her family from that day forward. When God spoke and asked Moses what was in his hand, it was not because he did not know already. It was a reminder to Moses to show him what he already possessed, and shows us how God can still use something even if we may think that it is insignificant. When we are following God's will, our responsibility is to carry it out and present it where and when he asks us to. The Lord knew what the people needed to see to believe. He knew when Pharaoh will refuse. He knows how people will react to us walking in our calling. No, not everyone will like it. People may not notice or even believe that God called us at times. But getting people to believe or listen is not your or my responsibility. Presenting our life to the Lord and walking in the call is our responsibility. Which takes me to one of my favorite old sayings, give God your best and let him do the rest. But emphasis on best. Our best is not going to be perfection. It's not going to be perfect. The Lord knows that we can never obtain perfection but through Christ. We are giving him our best by offering a willing heart, to serve him by walking in love towards others, even if they choose not to believe in you, or acknowledge your mission in Christ, or walk with God. God sees your heart, and he will perceive your intentions and level of willingness as either true obedience or form of rebellion. Your heart towards people and towards God, when trials come, are the determining factor of your heart. Is it obedient or is it rebellious? If you are already walking in your calling, these are the feelings to avoid. Do not become fearful, angry, weary, rebellious, or careless. There is always a standard that the Lord will hold us to. Do not be fearful like the man in the parable, burying your talents and overlook your purpose and stir God's anger. Do not become angry and tired by the people around you like Moses, and in a moment of anger strike the rock and miss out on your promise. Do not be rebellious like Jonah and cause your journey through life to be increasingly troubled until you obey the Lord. Lastly, do not act carelessly like Uzzah, that thoughtlessly touched the ark. His rash and careless actions were in fact a show of openly disobeying the Lord, an act that he believed to be noble. It angered the Lord and it required punishment. This message is to say, the Lord is with you, and he says he has a plan to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. This is a word of encouragement for those that need to know stepping out on fierce faith and trusting in the Lord come not only with blessing, but it comes with peace. And those who have already begun walking in the calling, remember that we must love as he has called us to love him with everything we have and others as we love ourselves. That being in obedience to this will allow us to receive the blessings and the promises that come with answering the call. I hope this has been an encouraging word for you. If so, feel free to like and subscribe and keep an eye out for part 2, Lord willing, titled Seeking the Lord. So as always, God bless and much love.